Okay, so we've got a road in here now, and it's overlapping the topo. That's okay right now. Let's try something else for perhaps a curb, and then even maybe a sidewalk. How would we represent those things in Revit? Let's go back to a site view. I like to work in a site view in this instance. And there's a couple of ways that we can go about doing this. First of all, we've got a roadway, right? So let's put another element in here that would be along a roadway. Let's put a sidewalk in. Your average sidewalk is about 6, maybe 7 feet wide. In large urban cities, you might get a little bigger than that, 8, 9, 10 feet, depending on what city you're in. But we're going to work with the average, which is 6. So let's go in here and we're going to go to floor and we're going to pull up another architectural floor. This time we're going to duplicate this one and we're going to call this, surprise, surprise, sidewalk, right? And that sidewalk is going to be a little higher than the road. So let's put the sidewalk at something like, I don't know, maybe something like 8 inches for right now. We may go back and adjust that later. All right, we wanted to project a little bit above. All right. And let me go back. Before we do that, our sidewalks are going not to be asphalt, they're going to be concrete. So we can pull down concrete cast in place gray. That's going to be fine. And in addition to that, we may want to look at a different surface pattern. Well, what do I mean? Well, it could look like sand from above, but maybe, just maybe, we want it to look like there were some control joints in there, right? So what if I put a horizontal in here? All right. Now, you're going to see this isn't going to work. We're going to have to come back and adjust it, but I want you to see why it doesn't work first. So I'm going to hit apply and OK, and then I'll hit OK again. And now I'm going to come in and I'm going to just simply right next to the road for the time being, draw this, right? And I'm going to say I want this to be about 6 feet wide, okay? And I'm going to hit finish. Now when you look at that, you see all of those lines in there. Now what I can tell you from experience is that those control joints are usually at about 6 feet themselves. If we went out and measured, you'd see that. Now I can't really snap to these, but I'm going to approximate that's only 2'4". All right, let's pause the video and talk about something. Okay, so after a lot of discussion, what we realized is that we wanted to create this cast in place concrete sidewalk, okay? And we did it with creating a pattern, the sidewalk control joint pattern. And we did that by selecting a new fill pattern. We're simply going to edit our pattern now. And what we know is that because the scale of our view is an 1/8 inch equals a foot, and this line spacing in this hatch pattern is 1/8 inch, in order for those control joints here to show up 6 feet apart, what I have to do is increase this to 6/8 or 3/4, right? Because if I go back in there now, it reduces that fraction for me. All right, so now when I hit OK, and I hit OK, and I hit OK and apply, now these things are spaced at approximately, when I measure, because you can't snap to hatch lines, but you can approximate to them. This is approximately what? The 6 feet that I'm looking for. And that's what I want you to do. I just want you to draw a sidewalk that has those what? That has that hatch pattern in it. That's going to be scaled properly. You're going to have to scale your view to an 1/8 inch. Look what happens when I go back to 1 to 20. Let's look at that. Look how those changed. They're even longer now. I have a chart I'll give you that will explain the scale factoring of those civil units like that. But for right now, we're going to make sure our view is scaled to 1/8 inch equals a foot, okay? And I'll go ahead and stop this video and let you all begin to get caught up.